Mr. Erickson, come on down. Nice to see you. You'll be fine.
Good evening. Dave Erickson, 52700 Mound Road, Shelby Township. It's been a long time since I've been here, but tonight's a good night. I'm a bit befuddled by your comment, Mr. Huth. Assumed. I thought that, I know in the engineering profession we don't assume things. What we do is we take facts, we put together a plan, and we execute. And once we've executed, we validate. Assume. There's a phrase, a catchy phrase about that. When you assume on my dime, and that's how you get paid, you're not doing us any justice. It's my time, sir, not yours. You can sit in silence for 10 minutes. I was really surprised to go around the township and see all these political signs up talking about people that are Republicans running for office. I didn't know we had very many here. We have a lot of Republicrats. They talk like Republicans and they spend like Democrats. They talk about conservative spending. They talk about our, there was a comment in the paper by one of our township leaders talking about how we have to be frugal in our spending. And we go out and we park out, what, $1.25 million on a Soccer City deal. We talk about not raising taxes. Well, it depends on how you want to talk about it. Depends on how you want to define it. But when my assessment goes up, you're taking more tax money. At the end of the day, I have to pay more in taxes because the assessment went up. Economy's going down. Houses are being foreclosed upon. People are losing their jobs. People don't have health care. Now, some people have a lot of health care, but people are losing their health care. And we go ahead and we raise taxes. Call it what you want. It's a shell game. Republicrats talk like a Republican, talk about conservative policies, spend like Democrats. We talk about reducing our department. Reducing our department. We made a reduction. I read this in a political piece of garbage that came through my mail the other day. I wish I could filter this out. And it talked about a percentage of reduction. Let's just pull a number out of the air, 20%. If you have 5 people in the department and you get rid of one, you made a 20% reduction. Net, that's $40,000, maybe $50,000. You got to annuitize some benefits in there, and there you go. But then we pick up a deputy, and we bring that deputy into the department. We bring a deputy into the department not because that deputy brings business acumen, but because it's a buddy deal. I mean, you know, can't make a lot of money, being a lawn boy. You got to get a couple extra bucks, somehow. And we take care of our buddies that way. That's stealing money from me, my perception, my opinion. We talk about, and I'm amazed. I mean, I keep driving by this way, and I saw the big thing, Tree City. My God, he must have come before the, Sherman, burned his way through Atlanta here. They have more trees cut down. What is this tree preservation permit? Every time I see one of those go up, I see trees coming down. There's a contradiction in terms here. What's going on? What's going on in Shelby Township is no different than what's going on in our state government, which is no different than what's going on in our federal government, which is, let's remember the days of Bill and Hillary. Everybody's going to get medical care. We're going to have national medical care, right? It never happened. But after a couple of years, they said, we went and we tried, but we couldn't get it done. We had the opposition of this. We had the opposition of that. We had the same thing here. Well, we just couldn't get it done. Well, we ran into this opposition. We ran into that opposition. You want an office, you want to serve, but you don't want to serve the people. What you want to do is you want to make deals with your political buddies so that you can perpetuate your future, whether it's staying in the same position or moving on to another position or whatever it may be. But you forget that we pay you to get it done. We don't pay you for you to try. If you go into business today and you take a look at people like at a tier 1 supplier, they're working hard and they're trying to get it done. But at the end of the day, they don't get it done. They remove those people because everything is lean and everything is tough. But in politics, you don't get it done as, well, your end all for it. You failed to do your job. You were failed to bring about. I read in one political ad where I voted against this, and I voted against that, and I voted against this. My question is what did you offer in compromise to get it done? This is not a lifelong journey. We're just going to go down here. There are tangible deliverables that you owe. It is your fiduciary responsibility to the citizens of this township, not just the ones that voted for you, but for the ones that voted against you, for the ones who weren't born yet, for the ones who spent their tax money. You don't get it done. Maybe it's because you don't get it. I don't know. Gentleman talks here about road commission. There's a real interesting thing. The other gentleman was talking about our engineering. We ought to talk about a bridge one day. The township engineer gets paid on a cost-plus basis. Holy Mother of God, I want that contract. I'll be able to put that little boy's retirement account together, not just his college fund, based on a cost-plus basis. So they screw up over there in the design and trying to put in the bridge because they didn't do the Isaiah Thomas thing and look up and see high tension lines. So they had to redesign it. So they charged you more money. The outcome was a higher cost to get the job done, and guess what? Their percentage kicks in and they go. So what you do is, in a situation like that, is you go and pay people for their inability to do it right the first time. Now let's talk about that. Quality educational system. I don't care if you want to talk about Deming. I don't care if you want to talk about Phil Crosby. Quality education system. Get it done right the first time. But we can't do that here, because we continue to hire the same company. Somebody ought to really look into how that might happen. It's odd that you can't perform, but you get rehired. We give you another contract. We give you open license to take the money out of the taxpaying citizens. And then let's talk about the criminal justice building. I will absolutely tell you this. The cops downstairs have a crummy habitat that should have been corrected God knows how many years ago. But you don't go from 7,000 or 8,000 or 9,000 square feet to a factor of 5 or a factor of 6. Mr. Cady is in the automotive industry. Mr. Cady is a learned gentleman that understands scalable solutions. You can start with an infrastructure, you can set that infrastructure up, you can add as you go, you can pay with it as you go, because you're out there banking on money that you don't have today. You don't have the same restriction that I do. When I go to the bank and the money's done, the money's done. You go downstairs and tell the assessor, jack it up, we need some more money. We're inefficient, we're ineffective, we don't know what the hell we're doing, but we go out and put political signs up that say, we are Republicans, we're conservative people. That is a joke. Republicrat. Talk like a Republican, spend like a Democrat. People in this township expect you to get it done. People in this township, when they go to vote this August the 5th, need to get some of you done and out of here and get a replacement in here of people who want to get it done. who have a passion for excellence, who have a passion for leadership, and a passion for service that brings about change in Shelby Township so that we can walk down with a sense of pride, so we don't have to worry about how are we going to take care of this, how are we going to take care of things at our home, how are we going to pay for our taxes, how are we going to pay for... Let me finish my statement, if I may.
Mr. Erickson, your time has expired, and I did give you...
You've allowed time for other people.
I did give you extra time, sir.
You've allowed people before. I asked for 1 minute.
I did give you extra time.
I asked for 1 minute.
Your time's expired.
I'd like to have 1 minute to finish, if I may.
Time's expired. Thank you, Mr.
You
Erickson.
cannot continue to go down the path you are, and you cannot continue to silence people because you don't like what they say.